Give it up, everyone, for the father of the bride, Jack Ormeron!
Hello everyone, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jack, Abby's dad, which means I've spent the last few decades trying to prepare for this exact moment, and heads up, I'm still not ready. Raising Abby has been an adventure, a wonderful, sometimes exhausting, but rewarding adventure. I survived the girly parties, the top of the pops dance-offs, the endless days of Saved by the Bell, and the teenage phase where I suddenly became embarrassing. But through it all, she's remained my greatest joy and become a beautiful, strong, intelligent woman today. Then along came Alex. I'll admit at first I wasn't sure anyone would ever be good enough for my daughter, but I quickly saw that he made her laugh, how happy he made her, and most importantly, he loved her with all his heart. That's all a father could ever hope for. Alex, thank you for loving my daughter the way she deserves to be loved. I know she's in good hands. At this time, I'd like to take a moment to remember those who are not here with us today, those who could not be here and those who have passed on. We remember Flora, Abby's gran, who has been so incredibly proud to be celebrating this day with us. Abby and Alex, may your marriage be filled with laughter, patience and endless love. Always remember to be each other's biggest supporters and best of friends. All raise a glass to the happy couple. Cheers. Josh, take this off me.
Everybody give it up for Jack! Wow, mate. All right, next up, a man who, after sorting out memories from inappropriate to appropriate, managed to reduce his speech from 25 minutes to just 8. He's the best man today. Give a big round of applause to Sam Carter.
Right, Al. For those I've not met yet, you've been lucky so far. My name's Sam. I've got the immense privilege of being one of Alex's 4 mates. Also, I think one of the only friends that Abby marginally approved of to stand up here and speak in front of you. I remember one of the first times I met Abby. It was after Alex and I had been out drinking, which you'll find is quite a common theme for this speech, by the way. We got back from the night out. Abby started to ask me what we'd been up to. And not one of my responses lined up with what Alex had been telling her we'd been doing. So from there, I think she took me as a safe bet. That was until my brief from Alex became clearer. Now, I'm aware there's a few of you in the room who might not know Alex very well. So here's a few quick facts to get you up to speed. Look a bit nervous, Alex. He lives life under Abby's thumb. He blows his nose into his dirty boxes that he leaves on side of the bedroom floor. And he once told me that his favourite hobby, aside from masturbating in the spare bedroom, is finding OnlyFans girls' tit pictures for free. Which he said can sometimes be hard work but rewarding. Now, of course, that's all behind you now you're married anyway. I'd like to take the time just to mention what an incredible day you both arranged for us today. I know how much work you put in behind the scenes, although when I say both, I remember asking Alex a couple of weeks ago details about the wedding, and whilst he put up a good act of acting like he knew, he gave up about 2 questions in and admitted he'd not done a lot of planning. But I'll admit, you do make a good prop for Abby's big day. Actually, one of the things Alex did do was win the battle of allowing us groomsmen to wear belts or braces today. So well done to that, Alex. Thank you. Everything looks amazing, and you can really tell how personal it is to the pair of you. So thanks for not wasting a day of everyone's annual leave. Abby, I've seen you in some states, and this is definitely one of your best. I think we'll all agree that you look absolutely incredible today. Now, I've known Alex since we started secondary school together. It was better days as we weren't really friends to begin with. I did know him from rugby, though, as he was the unit that we threw the rugby ball to, though. Because he wasn't as fat back then, but he was still bigger than the rest of us. One of the earliest memories I have with Alex, before him and I became close friends, was after one of Tom's birthday barbecues at his house. And for reference, Tom is the smaller, bolder groomsman here today. This way, Tom. After the party, the night evolved into a game of Dead Arm. For those who don't know what that is, it's basically this really cool game where you stand opposite each other and just punch each other in the arm until one of you gives up. The game went through a lot of back and forths until Alex gave up after his punch. Now, it might not seem like a big deal, but under the official rules of Dead Arm, you can only give up after receiving a punch. So that meant I still owed Alex one more punch. When I tell you, the look of anger in this man's face was terrifying. It was boiling with testosterone, ready to flatten me down on the floor. Alex, the ginger one, over there, managed to calm the situation down, and he inevitably gave up and got the punch he deserved. The bruise on his arm then went to turn every colour of the rainbow, and that somehow sparked the competitive friendship we've had ever since. Now, whilst I could go on with many stories about me and Alex drinking too much, I do want to share one which definitely holds a rightful place in my speech today. And I'll title it, All Alex's Fault. We went into Birmingham for New Year's Eve. Staying at Tom's, as neither of us were local. We started the night in various bars, saw the New Year in at Pretty Poor Club, and then the group decided to split. Bear with. With everyone else now on their way home, Alex and I decided that we wanted to stay out and go to one of the only clubs still open at about 3 a.m. We went on a merry way, telling Tom we'd make our own way back to his place. We got to this club, and it was the complete opposite crowd to what Alex and I would fit into. I instantly took the hint we weren't welcome from the dirty looks people were giving us. As I started to look for directions home, I overheard, "What the fuck are you looking at?" It was Alex. He was speaking towards a group of 3 or 4 brummies. After trying to drag Alex away from the dispute he started, he continued to have a row across the street, shouting that we'd do them. Which, for reference, we definitely wouldn't have done. After managing to pipe Alex down and finally drag him away from the argument, we made our way back to Tom's place. And we remember he'd given us strict instructions of going out the club and turning left. So we went out the club, turned right. Wandering along the canal, making to what I thought was the way back, but lo and behold, this group that Alex was having it out with were walking 50 metres ahead of us in the same direction. After they thought we were following Alex to do them in, which we weren't, and assuring them that we weren't, they made us walk in front of them. And as we passed, that's when things took a turn. One of them pushed Alex into the canal. The others beat me to the floor, stole my phone and wallet, and left me unconscious, whilst Alex was swimming, unable to climb out of the water. Thankfully, 2 strangers came to our help and managed to lift Alex out of the canal. Unfortunately, his phone survived to be able to phone the police. Now, strangely, the police weren't being very helpful with being able to locate us. Alex had been on the phone to them explaining what has happened, and by that time, almost reaching hypothermia. But they weren't being very accommodating. Turns out that's because Alex had been phoning 911 instead. And the woman over the phone thought that we were in Birmingham, Alabama. After quite a few taxis refusing Alex dripping wet and me covered in blood, fortunately we made it back to Tom's place. Bear with. A funny fact about that afterwards is that we both went to the hospital and got checked over. And after telling them how much we drank that night, Alex got referred to an alcohol support unit. Apart from being a hothead and having too much testosterone in him, Alex has always been a really great mate with a rare relatable mindset to me. A heartfelt moment when we were wrestling in the sea in Benidorm on your stag do, and you had your knob out for the 12th time that trip. was a realisation that even though we grow and advance in life, we never need to grow up mentally. Although one thing that does need to grow up is the size of your sausage. Alex, you are incredibly lucky to be leaving here today, having gained a wife that's willing to live with your incredibly annoying habits. And it was also absolutely beautiful at the same time. And Abby, how lucky you are to have gained a gorgeous dress and the day you've always wanted. Even though you and Abby went on holiday instead of coming to my wedding day, and Ruth's wedding day, you know how much we love you both. Thank you for allowing me to have the huge honour of being your best man today. You're the perfect and unique couple people dream of most of the time. And I wish you both a very happy and long-lasting future together. On behalf of the wedding party, I'd like to thank you for sharing this wonderful day with us all. So please, would you join me and all raise a glass for the happy couple? Congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Eves.
All right.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. Right. It's quite daunting, I think.
Give it up again for Sam, everyone. Very insightful. All right, next up then, we've got the co-main event. There's a pre-warning. If there are any awkward silences, it means that Alex has told a joke. And that is your cue to laugh. Please give it up for the main man himself, the groom, Alex Eves!
Thank you, everyone. Jack and Sam, thank you for those fantastic words. I'm not too sure on that one, but everyone sees the darker side of people, I guess. Apparently these groom speeches come with a bit of a briefing, which goes something like this. You've got to be romantic, you've got to be funny, be heartfelt, don't go too long or too short, don't cry or don't swear. A few of those I've failed on today so far. But after some practicing in front of Simba and Wallace, who remained impressively unimpressed, I'm hoping you lot will be a little bit more responsive. So before I get too emotional or accidentally swear, we'll start with some very important thank yous. First one goes out to you lot. Thank you all so much for being here today, and for most of you taking a day off work. It turns out there is nothing like a bit of free food and wine. You all clearly followed that dress code as well and look absolutely outstanding. I mean, every single one of you. It means everything to Abby and I to have so many of our favourite people in one place. Your presence honestly means the world. You'll notice a little black envelope in front of you. This is for a voucher after the food for some cocktails. Don't say we don't spoil you. I do need a moment of honesty. Jack and Sam have kind of alluded to this. Whilst I may appear calm and sort of mildly collected today, let's not forget we're only here because Abby spent the last 2 years gently project managing every part of this wedding. I basically just... I basically just turned up in the right suit, didn't forget the rings, and I'll be honest, that was a bit touch and go at the last minute. To Abby's family, thank you for the welcome me into your lives. I've truly enjoyed spending time with you all, and I can't wait to share some more memories with you all in years to come. In particular, I do want to thank Jack and Jane for raising such a fiercely independent, kind and determined woman. It's those very qualities that made me fall in love with her, and what continues to inspire me every day. Jack, I would also like to thank you for coming to Benidorm and showing us the ropes. There are a few things in life that a father-in-law probably shouldn't see from his future son-in-law, but I doubt it's nothing you haven't seen or done before. A special thank you goes out to Alan as well. During the 6 months Abby and I were waiting for moving to our house, he took us in without hesitation. Admittedly, most evenings spent sharing stories over a gin or a glass of red, often both though, are some cherished memories which I still bring up to Abby from time to time, although I'm not sure Abby felt the same whilst we were up till midnight, most nights. I felt not just welcome but truly at home, and for that, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Mum and Dad, thank you for a wonderful and loving upbringing. Mum, firstly, look absolutely outstanding and stunning today. Growing up, you may have laid down the law from time to time, but above all, you were always loving, kind, brutally honest, and only ever wanting the best for me. The effort you went into making life feel special is something I'll hold on to forever. And Dad, you haven't scrubbed up too bad either. You taught me so much of what I know today, not just practically, but how to approach life with resilience and, of course, how to handle a beer. Together, you've always been there for me quietly and consistently, and I can't thank you enough. And to the rest of my family, just a huge thank you for the love, support and opportunities over the years. Now, before I talk about Abby and get all gushy, I want to give a huge shout out to you, to incredible bridesmaids. Everyone wave your hands, bridesmaids. Yeah, right there. A group of women who've not only supported her over the years, but who clearly love her deeply. In no particular order, to her very own maid of honour, Daisy. Abby's absolute rock and more like a sister than a friend. You've seen each other through thick and thin, and your bond is something really special, unique, and just honestly wonderful to be a part of. To Katie, you two have grown up together, you shared everything, including a lovely rendition of Call Me Maybe, which Simon Cowell still needs to get his hands on. There's some uncapped potential there. You share so much more, the kind of memories that only childhood best friends can understand. To Kat, originally from work, now one of Abby's dearest friends. We love spending time as couples, especially with Hattie and Harrison. He light up any room they're in. I can't forget Wilson, who's the dog, by the way, who's still with us as ever. Thank you for the warmth and friendship you both shared. And to Lauren, another lifelong friend, thank you for the loyalty and love to Abby. Your friendship has been a constant in Abby's life, and that's something she treasures. We both can't wait to watch you and Jack navigate this next step of your lives with Florrie. One final special shout out to Yaz's Angels. Thank you. Thank you for being such a solid group of girls and for throwing Abby the most incredible hen trip. From what I've heard and what I've sort of been allowed to hear, it was unforgettable. Receiving a rather drunk text from Abby during the early hours of the morning, saying she had the best afternoon of her life, kind of says it all. And to my best man and groomsman, appreciate the speech, mate. I could be there for ages telling stories, but really I just want to thank you standing here with me today. I honestly couldn't imagine a better group of lads to constantly rip into me. So if you all raise a glass to family and friends. Now, on to the main reason I'm standing here today. My new wife, Abby. Thank you. Abby and I have been together for 7 amazing years. Between the occasional bicker, we've managed to raise 2 dogs, explore some incredible places, and build a life and home we're truly proud of. For those of you who do not know how this all started, let me paint a little picture for you. The pun intended there. One day out of the blue, I get a text from Abby. We haven't really spoken in a while. She just bought her first house, thanks to our resident MC here today, Josh, who'd managed to put a bit of paint on the carpet. She was wondering if the wooden floor underneath was salvageable. With the promise of some extra pennies, naturally, I came over to assess the damage. And what followed was a series of quick favours that slowly turned into the full-scale DIY renovations over the months to follow. Floorboards, shelves, furniture, fireplace, you name it. And somewhere between the trips to the tip and after-work visits, something changed. We started to laugh more, talk more, and somewhere in the middle of all that sanding and hammering, a bit of plumbing may have happened too. Still didn't get paid though. Then came Simba, who's obviously too food obsessed to be here, trusted here today. Abby brought home this tiny, and I know we're a little bit biased, but ridiculously cute Cavapoo. Simba made himself at home, as did I, and quite frankly, it was clear he picked me as his dad. I like to think that hat won Abby over a bit faster. Then one evening, a few months later, Abby, being the upfront woman she is, told me she really liked me. Not loved me, that was me, but really liked me. I'm not sure I've ever been so relieved and happy at the same time, because by then, I'd absolutely and completely already fallen in love with this woman. She's clever. Like, she has a wide vocabulary, even if she struggles to spell some of the words she comes out with. She's funny, she's driven, she's fiercely loyal, a devoted dog mum, and of course, incredibly beautiful. Even when she's battling out Whitney Houston with questionable pitch. Depending on how many savvy bees you feed her later, you might get a live performance of I Will Always Love You. She's also been known to fall down the stairs at Friendsmas or lick an electric fly swatter just for the laughs. Video proof. I do think my biggest mistake throughout this time was encouraging her to get a hobby. Now this hobby has turned into an obsession with the WSL and Aston Villa women's team. Since all that, the rest has basically just been perfect. A shared life filled with laughter. A lockdown puppy from West Wales, who we all know as Wallace, belting out our shared love for country music. Long dog walks, longer DIY projects, and love. The kind that grows stronger, steadier, and deeper every day. Along with everything I've mentioned, you're kind, you're patient, especially my terrible jokes, and you have the biggest heart of anyone I've ever known. You're always thinking of others, always putting other people first, and you make everyone in your world feel valued. Abby, when I look at you, I don't just see my wife, I see my home, my greatest adventure, and my safe place, all in one. You are everything I never knew I needed, and everything I'll ever want. You've inspired me to be a better man, and for the rest of our lives, I promise to show you the same love, care, and devotion, and I look forward to proving this to you forever. And of course, Josh, without your clumsiness and questionable painting skills, none of this would have ever happened. I'd have a bit more money in the bank. We'll owe you that forever, so thank you. So if everyone would raise a glass, here's to love, country music, questionable singing, Simba, Wallace, and most of all to my best friend, who I can now also call my wife, Abby.
Give it up again for Alex, everyone. I don't know about you, but I'm pleasantly surprised with that.
Yeah.
Very well delivered. All right, then, last but certainly not least, we've got a couple of bridesmaids. I think you'll all agree that they all look fantastic today. And I'm really looking forward to taking one of these back to my room tonight. The other one is my partner of 10 years. So please put your hands together for Katie Frost and Daisy Andrews. Really fine.
Woo, let's go. Is it working? Can everyone hear me? Yeah. Okay. So, I'm the bridesmaid, I'm Katie. Abby, I get the absolute pleasure of calling you my oldest and bestest friends. Since we were 4 years old, we've been through every step of life together, and what a ride it's been. We've shared so many firsts: the first day of school, the first sleepover, the first night out, the first house, the first time picking up your new dog, and now the very first wedding. Well, starting as junior primary school, Abby has always had a very inspiring, wise head on her shoulders. She definitely carried herself in a way that made her seem older than she actually was, definitely getting that from her gran. A core memory of mine is on my 7th birthday, Abby asked my mum if my mum could hold her bag so she'd go to the bathroom to powder her nose. Little did she know she needed her bag to actually powder her nose. Abby has always been very independent and exactly knew what she wanted, whether that was what job she wanted, what boy she wanted, or what hair colour she decided she felt like that month. Every primary, secondary and college we were there side by side, going from guiding each other to blind challenges at Malvern Outdoor Centre, celebrating every birthday together, to holding each other's hair back after food too many prosexes. There have been countless memories that we've shared together. It'd be a crime to do a speech on your wedding day, sharing our memories, I'll mention our very infamous music video. I'm sure a few of you here have seen it. Those of you who haven't, I hope you never will. Me and Abby have always had so much fun together. We've been there through for everything. We've laughed until we cried. Abby has always had a way of making every activity fun, even those countless nights at Labour when she bought her first house. For our prom, we arrived in style. I don't know how Abby pulled this off, but she convinced her granddad to dress up in a bright yellow banana costume, covered his black convertible in yellow balloons that waved in the wind and created the most amount of attention, and drive us to our prom. We got out, lips blue from WKD, and made our entrance. I'm not sure who was more embarrassed, him or me. I honestly can't even put into words how happy I am to see you both truly happy today. I never quite knew how, even if you allow a partner into your life, you were always able to have control over everything, living life from spreadsheet to spreadsheet, even trying to control our speech today. We got told no poems, no raps, and no interpretive dancing. But then there came Alex. Alex, you've surrendered to Abby's life so perfectly. It's been so lovely to watch you both do life together, to share and embrace each other's interests, supporting each other through life challenges, and being the best parents of Simba and Wallace. Abby is extremely lucky that she now gets to call you her husband. The way you care, protect and love Abby is something that can be admired by everyone here today. It also doesn't hurt that you're a top-tip handyman and love country music. In 2015, me and Abby were losing a large chunk of our Yaz's Angels to university. This is where the duo became a trio. And Abby welcomed Daisy as a new best friend.
I first met Abby in high school, which is where the incredible girl group you see before you started to take shape. Back then, there was a little bit of distance between us. By distance, I mean Abby was in all the top sets, and I was somehow overlooked for all of them. Throughout college, Abby continued her form from school, popular and intelligent. She also started to find new hobbies that included alcohol and rugby boys. 6 nights a week, you'd find her in Bushwhackers, and day 7, she would spend wishing she was a rugby ball in that middle of the scrum. Oh, sorry. However, for the past 10 years, she has been the most loyal, genuine, and supportive friend I know. She is the person I call if I'm in trouble. However, if it is before 9 a.m., it's not even, I wouldn't even risk my life for that. We've seen each other through so many milestones in our early adult life. Abby buying her first house, Abby getting her first dog Simba, Abby moving Alan, Abby breaking all COVID rules to go and get Wallace in Wales, Abby and Al buying their first house together. And at this point, I was starting to feel super left out, so I had a baby. I have many amazing memories of Abby, including when her and Al stepped away. Sorry, shouldn't find myself this funny. When her and Al stepped away from their usual 5-star Caribbean holidays to summit with me and Josh in Benidorm for a week. Swapping all-inclusive cocktails and a beautiful scenery for Sticky Vicky and even stickier dance floors. What are friends for, baby? I have even more amazing memories with intoxicated Abby. Those of you that know her very well will know that drunken Abby is a very rare occasion these days. But when she does hit the bottle, she always delivers. And at the annual Friendsmas gathering is the usual location. Like the time she spent the whole year as a meme following a bit of Friendsmas shadowboxing and falling from her breakfast bar stool. Or the time again at Friendsmas when she fell down the stairs and battled through for a few days with a self-diagnosed broken back and before going to hospital, by which time it was fully healed, by the way. The truth is, you have worked incredibly hard throughout your life to get where you are today. And you should feel incredibly proud of yourself because I'm always proud of you. You are fiercely independent, not just in the sense of doing things on your own, but in the way you carry yourself with quiet strength. You make bold decisions without waiting for permission. You always stand firm on who you are. Watching you live your life on your own terms is such an inspiration. You have now found someone who embraces you and embraces that independence. You didn't need Alex to complete you. You just found someone who compliments you and does not try and change you or dim your light. Alex, my hun. A main character in a classic love story. Handyman to husbands. It is clear for everyone to see that Abby chose you due to your dashing good looks and drive to succeed, and your gentleman-like personality, and not because of your ability to fix absolutely everything and build anything with your bare hands. Your toolbox is something I could only ever dream of seeing in my house. If it wasn't for you, I'd be watching a TV leant up against the wall, in the dark, sat on a sofa with no legs. On a serious note, your unwavering love for Abby is so clear for all to see. I want to praise you for managing Abby's directness and also showing her what real love truly is. You are a smart, successful, and kind man. with a huge heart, and I feel so lucky to call you a friend, and I feel at ease knowing my best friend has someone who will take care of her. As a couple, I feel safe in the knowledge that my son will always have an auntie and uncle that will be perfect role models to guide him through life. 2 more people who will love and support him if he is ever in need, and for that, I will always be grateful. They say opposites attract, and in some cases, this rings true. Alex, you are the only man I know that can turn a 10-minute conversation into 10 hours. And Abby, you are the only person I've ever known to ask for the bill without even finish eating your meal. Please make sure you always communicate, be spontaneous, and save times for adventures. So here's to you both. Here's to a long, happy, and fulfilled marriage. And I would like everyone to raise their glass to the new Mr. and Mrs. Eves.
You're welcome.
Okay, give it up everyone one more time for Daisy and Katie. I think you'll all agree that all of our speakers really outperformed themselves there. So let's have one final round of applause for all of today's speakers. Jack Orrod, Alex Eve, Best Man Sam, and the bridesmaids, Katie and Daisy.